All right, time to go live, everybody. It's Wednesday, the middle of the week. Welcome to the show. My name is Stuart Davis. I am a flawed man of God. I am a deacon at a small church just outside of Richmond, Virginia. I'm not a pastor. I'm not a biblical scholar. I haven't been to seminary. I'm not trying to get you to join my church or donate to any special cause. What this show is all about is just talking about Christianity, talking about it from a layman's perspective that you'll mostly see from me. I'm a non denominational Christian, been one all my life. I don't subscribe to any particular doctrine or denomination. I'm just in the word every day. So if you are if you are interested at all in becoming a Christian, curious about what it's all about, welcome to the show. Tune in, be part of the chat. I want to hear from you. I want to give, if this can be some sort of jumping off point, a primer for you to what to expect out of Christianity, great. But just remember, this is a very amateurish approach to how it to what Christianity is about. If you are already a Christian and you just enjoy Christian conversation, perspectives, and conversation, welcome to the chat as well. We like to have this. We like to treat this show right now a lot like a small group that you would normally see on a Wednesday night or something like that. Very, very informal, very much off the cuff, and all of us just giving our thoughts and feelings as things strike you. So I encourage you, if you like, being a wallflower is fine, and you are more than welcome to just listen if you want to, or maybe you're in the car or doing something else and you just can't be part of the chat. But don't feel uh please don't feel pushed away from giving a comment if you want. Okay. I don't want that to be the case. If you've got a thought, share it. Let's talk about it and be and just be what this chat and what this show is really all about, and that's discussing the Bible, discussing God, discussing ourselves and our own failings, and what goes on around us. So, welcome everybody. Whew, I'm I'm sweaty right now. Um, Practice ends at 7 o'clock. It's a hot day today, and the last 10-15 minutes we were scrimmaging, and they put me in for the last 5 minutes of the game, kind of helping one side of the team out for my son's soccer team. Now, this is the first practice I've been able to attend. I think we got a really good crew, so I'm really excited about it, and looking forward to the soccer season once they start to learn how to play as a team. That's always kind of the big thing. You can have a lot of talent, but if you don't know how to play as a team, doesn't always work. But we got some kids who can really kick the ball around. So I'm excited to see what the season, well, what the fall season has in store for us. So that's good, good, and trying to get my son to pay attention. That's another big thing. And look, we got some people in here tonight. All right, so first off, got to put this out of the way for Nico. Um, at 7:40 my time, I started the stream up, forgot to schedule it for the future, realized it about 5 minutes later, had to come back up to the room and fix it. And Nico had already said first. And then I put it back in here. Dresden was first on this edition of the stream. Neo, but reminding him that he might be the first to chat, but maybe not the first to view. Neo, I'm glad you're tuning in, and glad you contributed to the chat yesterday. That's great. Like I said, if you don't talk, that's fine. Hope you're getting something out of it. Sounds like if you're tuning in multiple times, that's usually a good sign for me. It's a good sign for me. Um, Blaine's Escape Corners here. Hello. Um, Blaine, is Gundam Evolution up yet? I did finally get that all downloaded yesterday, but I couldn't get past the opening screen because of server issues. Because of course there are. Porcupine's in the house. Fig at my bullying maybe is here in the chat. Fig is my original viewer, I want to say. I had some people tune in every once in a while who would comment during the stream. Fig Newton is the first regular Norm, we might call him, if you're a Cheers fan, if any of y'all are old enough to understand that reference. Fig was there when it was basically doesn't when nobody else was tuning in. It was just me, maybe some friends on Facebook, and Fig on YouTube. And if you go back and you look at some of the early episodes, it's just me and him kind of having a conversation at times. So welcome, Fig. Glad to have you back in here. Fig's been part of my baseball fantasy league as well. And it was, I think, I think that was your first time doing fantasy baseball, not your first time with fantasy football or anything, but your first time doing fantasy baseball. Almost made the playoffs. And looking forward to have him in there next season to see how he does. See how he drafts different. If he drafts differently, how you play the field. So my beard has gotten bigger. My beard is getting to the point where I usually start to trim it back, and then my wife's mad at me because she can see more of my face. So, and Blaine is now playing Gundam Evolution. I see that pop up. Maybe checking that out for me. Nico, thanks, Stuart, for protecting my honor. Sadly, I will mostly be listening in today as I'm on the move. That's fine. That is fine. And Porcupine will be doing the same, listening into the background, finishing welding the floor of the bus. Looking forward to the next round of pictures on Instagram. Porcupine, if you're okay with me sharing your Instagram, just let me know and I'll put a link in there. I'll put a link in the chat for people to check it out. Dresden, how is Keanu Reeves going to escape? We'll have to see what he sets the governor at. And yeah, there's Blaine's checking in on it. And Fig doesn't pirate his anime. I have pirated anime before. Try not to do any of that stuff anymore. Okay, Porcupine said sure. How am I going to do that? Hang on, I'll figure this out. Because I am a boomer. I don't have Instagram pulled up on my desktop, but I'll do it this way. Anything for a viewer, right? Where is So his Instagram handle is the secret schoolie, and there's periods in between the words, and schoolie is spelled a little bit differently, Skoolie. But I'm going to share this profile. No. How do I copy? Copy profile URL. There we go. Boom. Let's see if that goes up. Let's see if that has. There it goes. There we go. Got the link in the chat for you if you want to follow that. Pretty cool pictures. There we go. Mrs. Mayhem handles the social media. Remember, Stuart, pirating is morally correct. Morally questionable. Depends on the depends on a lot of factors. Blaine's Escape Corner servers go live at 7 p.m. right when my stream starts, I think you would. Bro, it's a school bus. Yeah, it is. And I've seen this kind of stuff done before, I've seen the finished product for some of these things done before. It's nice seeing kind of the in-depth and looking kind of at the guts of the school bus that you spend most of your childhood riding. If you were it is not a short bus. It's not a short bus. Pirating and buying figures gives the creators more cash than paying Crunchyroll. Well, I don't pay Crunchyroll either. Buying figures, yeah, support the artist. It is a nice bus. It is a nice bus. All right, so tonight we're going to continue. Tonight's going to be a short stream. That's the intent anyway. Because we actually have 2 short chapters to do. Wait. Nope. 6 is not as short as I thought it was. Is that a bluebird? I can't remember, Porcupine. Is that a bluebird? You know what? I'm going to stop asking you questions and let you get back to work. Supposed to be listening to me. Supposed to be listening to me, not not interrupting your work. It's supposed to be helping serenade you along with things. So good. We got a nice big crowd in here because hey, look, tonight we're going to be talking about the original raiders of the ark, right? The Philistines. Now, look. The Israelites left it, brought it into battle. And here's the interesting thing, and I didn't talk about this last night. And here's the funny thing. So the Israelites lost a battle, got really confused about it, and then decided, okay, well, why would God allow this to happen, right? And so they said, well, we'll just take him in the battle. They didn't ask. It doesn't sound like they asked God. Hey, you mind coming into battle with us? Because normally it's like there's some humility, there's some prayer, there's some worship and everything. No, and I'm sure that Tweedledee and Tweedledum, Eli's 2 sons, Hophni and Phineas, were not doing what they were supposed to do. So they just dragged the Ark of the Covenant out to the battlefield. They get their tails handed to them, and the Philistines make off with the Ark of the Covenant. So Israel is in a bit of a bind. However, has anybody who's seen Indiana Jones or has paid attention to the power of the Ark of the Covenant and what happens when people start screwing around the Ark of the Covenant? This might not have been a well thought out decision by the Philistines. I'm sure they were really excited that they beat the Israelites, and they're like, beat their ass. Let's take the Ark of the Covenant, because they were worried about that thing at first. So they're like, oh no, look what we got! We got the weapon. They're grabbing it and molesting it and everything. So chapter 5 and chapter 6 are going to be what happens. What are the consequences of this? So let's get into that. But first, Blaine's Escape Corner, quick preview of my stream tonight. Gundam Evolution, of course, and lefties cancel their Crunchyroll due to Crunchy denying unions, because of course they will. Fig asks, did they get their faces melted off? Let's find out. The Ark, 1 Samuel, chapter 5, the Ark in Ashdod and Ekron. After the Philistines had captured the Ark of God, they took it from Ebenezer to Ashdod. Then they carried the Ark into Dagon's temple and set it beside Dagon. Oh, yeah, great idea. Take him into a temple of a false god / demon. Great idea. When the people of Ashdod rose early the next day, there was Dagon, fallen on his face on the ground before the Ark of the Lord. They took Dagon and put him back in his place. Oh, great. God's playing cat games. He's tipping the idol over. Oh, let me do it this way. But so they took Dagon and put him back in his place. But the following morning when they rose, there was Dagon fallen on his face on the ground before the Ark of the Lord. His head and hands had been broken off and were lying on the threshold. Only his body remained. That is why to this day, neither the priests of Dagon nor any others who enter Dagon's temple at Ashdod step on the threshold. Well, they don't do anything anymore. You know why? Because after Christ rose from the dead and ascended into heaven, most of these pagan idiot religions went. The Lord's hand was heavy on the people of Ashdod and its vicinity. Oh, big surprise. He brought devastation on them and afflicted them with tumors. When the people of Ashdod saw what was happening, they said, the ark of the God of Israel must not stay here with us because his hand is heavy on us and on Dagon, our God. Yeah, nice God you got there. Maybe why can't they just say, oh, this God is clearly superior. Let's just worship him. So they called together all the rulers of the Philistines and asked them, what shall we do with the ark of the God of Israel? They answered, have the ark of the God of Israel moved to Gath. So they moved the ark of the God. They moved the ark of the God of Israel, so the ark of the covenant. Did they have a problem with Gath? Because clearly, look, they afflicted them with tumors, right? So when they're talking to these Philistines, they see what's going on. The Philistines are talking to each other, and Ashdod's representatives have probably got boils all over their face and big lumps and a goiter, going on. Yes, plain same psychology behind voting for incumbents. It really is. Damn it. Keeps buzzing me. Anyway. People get stuck in status quo, and what if this new guy just hates them forever? Yeah, whatever. I guess I'll die. So they said, let's move it to Gath. So maybe is Gath like the guys that nobody likes? Are they like the neighbor that everybody leaves their trash on their front yard? They answered, have the Ark of the Covenant moved to Gath. So they moved it to Israel. They moved the Ark of the Covenant there, I guess. I'm paraphrasing now. But after they had moved it, the Lord's hand was against that city, throwing it into a great panic. He afflicted the people of the city, both young and old, with an outbreak of tumors. Again. So they sent the ark of God to Ekron. And as the ark of God was entering Ekron, the people of Ekron cried out, they have brought the ark of God, of the God of Israel, around us to kill us and our people. So they called together all the rulers of the Philistines and said, send the ark of God, the God of Israel, away. Let it go back to its own place, or it will kill us and our people. Finally, some people who make some sense around here. Send the ark of the God of Israel away, or let it go back to its own place, or it will kill us and our people. For death has filled the city with panic. God's hand was very heavy on it. Those who did not die were afflicted with tumors, and the outcry of the city went up to heaven. Knew it was happening. Well, we all know. We've seen the movie. The ark returned to Israel. Oh, look at this. I'm not even sharing my screen. I'm sorry, guys. This is your fault, Big and Blaine. Oh, no. Y'all should have told me. Gath is the Florida. Florida might have started worshiping him. Might have started worshiping God. I wasn't sharing my screen, Fig. You're supposed to let me know that I'm boomering this. All right. The ark returned to Israel. Sounds like somebody came to their senses. This is such a God thing. This is such an Old Testament thing. I love this chapter. I love this chapter to death. Chapter 6. When the ark of the Lord had been in the Philistine territory 7 months, the Philistine called for the priests and the diviners and said, what shall we do with the ark of the Lord? Tell us how we should send it back to its place. They answered, "If you return the ark of the God of Israel, do not send it back to him without a gift. By all means, send a guilt offering to him. Then you will be healed, and you will know why his hand has not been lifted from you." Who are these guys? So the Philistines asked, "What guilt offering should we send to him?" They replied, 5 gold tumors? 5 gold tumors and 5 gold, I guess, lumps? And 5 gold rats, according to the number of the Philistine rulers, because the same plague has struck both you and your rulers. Make models of the tumors and of the rats that are destroying the country, and give glory to Israel's God. Perhaps he will lift his hand from you and your gods and your land. Why do you harden your hearts as the Egyptians and Pharaoh did? When Israel's God dealt harshly with them, they did not send the Israelites out so they could go on their way. Why are these people so smart and yet so dumb? Why? Why? You have the superior God in your presence. He is showing you why, and he's not being very nice about it either. You're getting ready to send him back with a guilt offering. And you're remembering how this whole thing started with the Israelites. Yeah. Oh man. Ever meet the guy that can quote scripture and still claim to be an atheist? Right here. That's really what it is. So stupid. I feel like this because sometimes it's like the guy you don't like who says something really witty or really sensible, and you're like, I gotta give him credit, right? Like he does, like you're funny. Be more like this, dude. Be more like this. That's what the Philistines are um around this time. Like they do some pretty they're not they're not they do wicked and evil things, but they're just like us, right? And yet they're not like us. Now then, get a new cart ready with 2 cows that have calved and have never been yoked. Hitch the cows to the cart, but take their calves away and pen them up. Take the ark of the Lord and put it on the cart, and in a chest beside it, put the gold objects you are sending back to him as a guilt offering. Send it on its way, but keep watching it. If it goes up to its own territory toward Beth Shemesh, then the Lord has brought this great disaster on us. But if it does not, then we will know that it was not his hand that struck us, but that it happened to us by chance. Yeah, okay. It's all a big coincidence. You're not sending it back to God. God's everywhere. But you are sending it back to the Israelites. So they did this. They took 2 such cows and hitched them to the cart and penned up their calves. They placed the ark of the Lord on the cart, along with it the chest containing the gold rats, because I'm sure that's why. Oh, look, a gold rat, just what I always wanted. Chest containing the gold rats and the models of the tumors. Then the cows went straight up towards Beth Shemesh, keeping on the road and lowing all the way. They did not turn to the right or to the left. The rulers of the Philistines followed them as far as the border of Beth Shemesh. Now the people of Beth Shemesh were harvesting their wheat in the valley. When they looked up and saw the ark, they rejoiced at the sight. The cart came to the field of Joshua of Beth Shemesh, and there it stopped beside a large rock. The people chopped up the wood of the cart and sacrificed the cows as a burnt offering to the Lord. The Levites took down the ark of the Lord together with the chest containing the gold objects and placed them on the large rock. On that day, the people of Beth Shemesh offered burnt offerings and made sacrifices to the Lord. The 5 rulers of the Philistines saw all of this and then returned that same day to Ekron. These are the gold tumors the Philistines sent as a guilt offering to the Lord, 1 each for Ashdod, Gaza, Ashkelon, Gath, and Ekron. And the number of the gold rats was according to the number of Philistine towns belonging to the 5 rulers. The fortified towns and with their country villages, The large rock on which the Levites set the ark of the Lord is a witness to this day in the field of Joshua of Beth-Shemesh. But God struck down some of the inhabitants of Beth-Shemesh, putting 70 of them to death because they looked into the ark of the Lord. Fig. There you go. I'm gonna do. I wish Nernath was here. Gonna do. Oh crap. Treebeard's voice. An Israelite should know better. Because they looked into the ark of the Lord. The people mourned because of the heavy blow the Lord had dealt them, and the people of Beth-Shemesh asked, "Who can stand in the presence of the Lord, this holy God? To whom will the ark go up from here?" Then they sent messengers to this people of Kiriath-Jearim, saying, "The Philistines have returned the ark of the Lord. Come down and take it up to your town." Oh, people are silly. I mean, this is, I guess, the original. Yeah, good way to make sure it's the real ark. I think if I saw the cows just coming on their own power without veering one way or the other, not being guided by anything, that would have been enough for me. Now, they might not. They just followed the road and they went straight where they were supposed to be. Or, good way to make sure it's the real ark. How about just call the priests up and said, "Is this the real ark?" I don't know. I feel like there's probably one or two guys in the town or gals in the town who's sitting there going, "Don't touch that. Don't go near that thing. No, 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 no. Lord put it there for a reason. You don't need to be going around there touching it. Whatever God did to the people of Philistine to make them give it back, you don't want any part of that." Not only that, but it's not like God's exactly happy with the Israelites at this point anyway. Right? So it's not going to get any better. It might get a little bit better. It's going to get a lot worse. It's going to get worse, guys. I do wonder how many people still knew what the ark looked like. How many heard throne of God and just didn't know? See their memory in the last all chapters. Literally all the last chapters. I think all of them knew. I mean, the Ark of the Covenant, I don't know if it was. That's actually a good question. I wonder how often they actually knew what because the Ark of the Covenant, I think, was in the tent of meeting, right? Kind of covered. So how many of them knew? Well, I take that back. Well, maybe. I mean, it sounds like that they would bring out the Ark of the Covenant every once in a while. I mean, they brought it out. They didn't bring that thing out in a tent with them. That had to travel. Um, had to be transported out to the battlefield. So only one priest every year, right? I don't think so. I think for the ceremonies, and I think later on that was the case. But it sounds like Moses and and Aaron and some of the other priests, as we go through things, are able to stand in there and commune with God for other things. I could be wrong though. I'm not like, let's go back to the beginning, not a biblical scholar. And I can't remember exactly everything we read about already. I do hear that the piece of rope they tied around the priest in case he died in the presence of God, that they could pull him out. I heard that's a myth. It's a myth. Myth. So, all right. hopefully we've learned some very valuable lessons, right? Look, if you were a kid and you find your parents' guns laying around, you don't just pick them up and start playing with them. You don't touch the Ark of the Covenant. You don't get near it. You don't get near it. Don't touch the Ark of the Covenant. If you see the Ark of the Covenant, call somebody. Call somebody more. Call somebody with a higher professional calling than yours. Ask them. Do not contact the Jesuits, or maybe contact the Jesuits. Maybe they'll all try to touch the. Maybe they'll all try to touch the Ark of the Covenant. I don't know. You can't trust Jesuits. The more I listen to what they say, the more I see them around, the more I am convinced they are the linchpin for all the modernists that are out there. That all starts with the Jesuits. So, anyways, all right. So we're going to continue our Bible readings. I've reached out to some of the folks. Everybody's kind of tied up. We're in fall. A lot of people, classes for a lot of people are coming. Family time is kind of hectic right now. So I'm just waiting to hear back from some guests. Other Paul has taken a 2-3 week sabbatical. I told him to hook up with me. Remy Shepard from Lutheran Answers. He's got some stuff going on. Maybe next month. I need to reach out to Canon Theologian and get him. And there's a gal who wanted me to come on her stream. And I'm reaching out to find out if we're still on for that, because we started talking about that midsummer, right? So anyway, Blaine, didn't somebody die just catching it when he thought it was falling? Yes. I find your lack of faith disturbing. Was very much that scene. Dresden, hey, pick it back up. That's fine. Whatever. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, relatively short stream. We're gonna run about an hour and a half, about a half hour tonight. That's fine. We have some long ones anyway. And I still need to get Eric Rollon back on, and I'm reaching out to some folks, and I just need to be more fastidious about it. But like I said, I'm busy right now with other things, so that takes away from my focus on this. But it's not to say that you guys aren't important to me, and I don't enjoy getting here together with you every night, because if I didn't, I wouldn't show up, right? Well, maybe not true. I definitely wouldn't have as much fun, and I wouldn't be streaming as much as I do now. I look forward to this time. All right, guys. So tomorrow's Thursday, so we'll do another Bible reading, and then Friday will be the open topic night, because last two Fridays have been pretty cool. So we'll talk about whatever, and it'll probably be politics, because of course it will. All right, guys. Dresden, Neo, Blaine, Porcupine, Big Fig, welcome back. Nico. I think that's it in here tonight. I said Dresden. Anyway, all you guys who've been in the chat, all you guys just listening in, dude, it's great. It's great to have you here. I'll talk to you guys later on. You guys have a wonderful evening, and God bless.